Hey everyone. So I've been trying to decide recently what type of video to do next, whether it should be a comedy sketch or some sort of a discussion video or something along those lines. And I've realized it can be really difficult to decide on a direction of where to go next. What I decided is to try and talk about what is the most interesting thing happening in my life right now. And right now, the most interesting thing is that I'm trying to launch a YouTube channel. Well, there are lots of videos out there currently who discuss this topic of how to launch a YouTube channel. And those are very helpful videos. They're people, the ones that I'm finding are people that are really immersed in this. They've been at it for a long time. They have built up an audience. They have really high production value, production quality. They have great instruments at their disposal, but they've been at it for a while. And so those videos are very helpful to see how they got there, but I also find them a little intimidating because I'm nowhere near that level. What I'm not seeing on YouTube right now are videos from people who are at the beginning, at the very beginning of the process, who are looking to create videos, but want to be able to see how someone else is going about it right from the get-go, when they don't have all the equipment. They don't have the process laid out. They're trying to find the time. They're trying to find the means. I don't know if there's a huge audience for that, but for me personally, that's something I would love to see, and I'm not finding it. So since I can't find it, I'm gonna make it. So this is the first video in that. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. But in this video, I'm going to talk about why I've decided to try and produce a YouTube channel and how I'm going about it from the get-go. So the first thing is why? Why am I making a YouTube channel at all? What's my point? What's my purpose here? I know some people look at being an influencer as this dream job where you can do whatever you want, just record it, and then people will pay you a bunch of money to see what you're doing. For me, that's not my purpose here. I'm not in this to make it a career. If that happens, then it happens. But I'm in this because of different reasons. For one thing, I love YouTube. I know a lot of people love YouTube, but to me, I love YouTube more than TV, more than movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm currently trying to launch a channel with my brother called The Uncanny J-Men, and we're at the very beginning there as well. And we're reviewing movies and TV shows, so clearly I have a love there too. But when I sit down at the end of the day and I'm trying to think of what to do, I want to watch a YouTube video because there's such variety in lengths, there's variety in topics, there's so much to choose from there. And I love just listening to people deciding to talk about whatever they want to talk about. So I love YouTube, and it looks like so much fun to be a part of that whole process, to be producing those videos and creating that content. And I've always wanted to have, at any point during my life, I've always enjoyed having some sort of artistic outlet. In middle school and high school, I was in the choir, and I did a little in college as well. I did theater, middle school, high school, and college. In college, I got into dancing a little bit. So whatever artistic medium I'm choosing, I really enjoy having that outlet somewhere to let off steam in some creative way, some way to just express myself creatively. Now, a 9-to-5 job, although there are some times where you can mix some creativity in there, at the end of the day, it is a job, and I'm producing a product according to someone else's specifications. So the range of my creative ability is limited there. So having something else to work on, in this case a YouTube channel, meets that need. So for me, the why here is just personal. I just wanted something in my life that I can get excited about making by myself, or with my brother for the other channel I'm making too. Next up is the how. And this is really where there's a lot more details to get into, because I'm not going into this with a whole bunch of money at my disposal to buy the best cameras, the best microphones, the best equipment. Even right now, I am facing a window. I have my camera set up on a tripod in front of a window so I can get some natural light from the window. I don't have any real good lighting sources at my disposal right now. So really, going from the beginning, I had to decide, what do I absolutely need to start? Because that's the first step, is just to start, just to make something. And I realized what I absolutely needed were three things. I need a camera, clearly, as you can't record a video without some sort of a camera. I need a computer, so I can do the editing and posting. And I needed motivation/time. And I feel very comfortable combining those into one topic because I thought I didn't have the time. For the longest time, I thought it was a great idea to start a channel, but I never thought I had the time to do it. In reality, it was a little more that I needed to find the time that was already there. I needed to prioritize it over other things. To do that, I needed motivation. So first off, camera. There are some really expensive cameras out there. I watched a video recently about new YouTuber cameras on a budget. It was something along those lines. I don't remember the exact title, but it was something along the lines of finding a camera when you're on a budget. And one of the cameras they recommended for new YouTubers was $1,500. Okay, for me, that's not a budget. Like, maybe for big YouTubers, that might be a budget. I don't know. For me, $1,500 is like multiple months of saving up. It's a while of saving up to get there. I'm not going to start a channel and buy a $1,500 camera right off the bat. I am not anywhere near that point. So I went a different route. Cameras are great, but in today's day and age, phones have really good cameras. The camera quality on phones just keep getting better and better. And it's not even what people are getting the phones for. Now, this worked out really well for me because a family member of mine dropped her phone and the screen cracked to the point where she felt like she didn't want to use that phone anymore. Well, I asked if I could have it. She got a new phone. She gave me her old phone with a big crack in the screen that honestly is slowly growing bigger and bigger the more I use it. But it's okay. I don't really need the screen as much as I just need the camera. I need the camera and the microphone. So that's what I'm using right now. And I would show you, but I'm recording off of that camera. But yeah, I've got this camera with, I think, pretty good quality in sound and in video, at least to start. And I actually didn't pay anything for it. So finding a smartphone of some sort and using the camera there at the beginning, for me, that's enough. So I've got a camera. I can get started. Second, computer. Unfortunately, I didn't have a computer either, and I couldn't find a good workaround here. I have a work computer, a computer that is supplied by the company I work for, but I don't want to use that. I don't feel like that's appropriate for me to use for personal videos that I'm posting to a personal channel. So the biggest by far investment that I've made at this point is buying a computer. Now I've got it over here. I just bought the cheapest computer that I could find that had enough specs that I felt like it could do video editing. And this took some research. I looked into the software that I wanted to use, and I figured out what specs that would need to run smoothly. Because, and even this, still a little bit, sometimes I have to give it time to get caught up to where I am. But it gives me a computer. I have a computer now, I can do the editing. Number 3, time/motivation. And this was a little more difficult than finding someone's phone that they didn't want anymore or buying a computer that can meet my needs. For this one, I had to make time. So I looked at my schedule and I said, okay, I need to figure out where I'm spending my time currently. And I need to set myself up in a position where I'm going to use my time better. So to do that, I did a couple of things. One, I realized I love to play video games, and I don't just mean consoles or handheld devices. I mean, video games on my phone count. To me, that is still a video game. Well, I was looking at how much time I'm spending on these video games, and although I don't spend a lot of time on the handheld consoles, like in blocks, during the course of the day, I spend a lot of time just picking up my phone. If I have a few minutes, I'm waiting for a meeting, or I'm walking to get lunch or whatever, I pick up my phone and I do some quick games on my phone. Well, it occurred to me, I'm spending a lot of time doing the games. If I have a free moment, my first reaction is, all right, let me pull out my phone and put in a minute or two on some game. So I decided, I don't know how much small amounts of time were going to help me, but I decided to make that commitment. So I committed to a month and a half of no video games. No video games at all. I can't play it. If I'm not working on my YouTube channel, I still can't play the video games. Now, for my own sake, I just wanted to get myself started. So that was a commitment I made. I'm surprised how much I'm actually able to put into my channel just from those little tidbits. So just the little time spent on your phone, if you're instead using that time to Google something about how to produce videos, or tips and tricks for YouTube making, or researching the types of technology that you want later on so you can get excited about that. Or what I most often do during those little times is I brainstorm. It's a little time to just think, okay, what are some ideas for videos? Or what am I doing in my videos that I could change, that I could try out? Those little bits of time really add up. So then the blocks at the end of the day where I normally could pick up a video game and play that, I instead can pick up my phone and record. So that was one primary way that I was shifting time. I wasn't making time, I wasn't creating time, I was finding it. The time was already there. I just had other priorities. And so I shifted those priorities, and here we are. I've managed to actually launch 2 channels, and I don't know what my viewer count's going to be, or I don't know how many subscribers are going to be when you are watching this right now. But right now, I believe this channel has 9 subscribers. It's less than a month old still, I'm pretty sure. My other channel has 5 subscribers, so I am brand new. So this really is just talking from the beginning. But that was the first thing I did, was to find time. I just found where I was currently allocating my time and figured out, okay, what am I willing to shift? What would I rather move over to creating YouTube videos, to doing this time instead? And I've also tried very hard not to start new shows, except for one. I did start one new show, but I had stopped a couple of other shows because those had ended. So I thought it was just fine. I don't want to take all my time for YouTube. Still want to have some fun elsewhere. But I tried very hard not to start new projects other than this. I want to make sure this is the project I'm starting right now. And that commitment is really helping me to get started. But number 2, that first video can be very difficult to get out there. So long term, I can shift video games to YouTube, and that's going to help. But short term, I needed more. So I took a week off from work. I had some PTO available. I took a week off from work, and I used that time, and I kept working. But instead of working at my job, I worked on starting YouTube. So I wrote up a script for a skit that I wanted to do. I recorded myself doing the skit. I figured out what the heck editing entails, because oh boy, can that be a lot. It takes a lot of learning. I'm still learning so much about video editing. But I learned what to do, and I spent a week just learning. And at the end of that week, I got one video. I think I only got one video actually ready by the end of that week. It took me a full week to get that video out there. But that started the ball rolling. So now I had something. And so there was a matter of figuring out, where do I go from here? Finding time at night, or over lunch breaks, or whenever to do the recording, and using those tidbits of time in the middle to figure out what I'm going to record, to plan my direction. And then times when I need to just zone out. I don't have time to plan right now. Like, I'm just not in the right mental state to think up a video, and I'm not in a position where I can record, but I can watch something. There's so much content out there to help you along the way. So watching other creators see the videos that they put out there and see what they have to offer. So the last thing I want to touch on is the where. And as you can probably tell, I'm just in an office right now. I'm in my office in my house. Luckily for me, I'm in a house that we had a bedroom that I could put aside for my office. So when COVID hit, I needed a space where I could work. Since I was working remotely for my job, still partially remote, but I was able to take a room and be my office. However, the room was not just my office. It wasn't just a room that nothing was in, because I don't think anyone ever has a room that they're just not using for absolutely anything. This was our storage room. We had floor to ceiling boxes in most of the room. And I just squeezed a desk in there and a chair, and that was my office. So that's where I started doing my recording. But I realized having a dedicated space would, for my mental state of making progress, this was something I really wanted. So I spent a bunch of time cleaning out this room and turning it into a bit of a recording studio. So I'm going to go ahead and move this around. The camera's going to get a little shaky here. But this is my office. So I've got my desk, computer and monitor and everything. And in the back there used to be a whole bunch of boxes. There's my recording studio. Basically, I'm going to head around there, and what this is about as makeshift as you can get. So I mostly wanted a space for the channel I'm doing with my brother. Ugh. As you can see, trying to get around to the recording studio, that's the space I have to work with right there. I'm squeezing between there to get back here. I'm using every inch of this space. But I wanted a background that had some stuff related to what we are making videos on in that channel. So we talk about our favorite fandoms. So I've got some Disney related products with Wreck-It Ralph and Winnie the Pooh. I've got Harry Potter up here. I've got the Avengers, which is a major part of it, here and here. I've got some Doctor Who. I don't know if we're going to be doing Doctor Who videos. We're going to see how that goes, but got Doctor Who, got a little more Marvel. So I just took things that I already had around the house in other rooms that I'd put up on walls, and I moved them over into here. So that's my backdrop now. So I sit down. There we go. In the back of my video, really entertaining space. Then we have just kind of a tripod, and I went ahead and actually got a teleprompter because I don't feel like I do a great job of talking to a camera impromptu. I'm doing it right now, so hopefully I'm doing a good job. But for some of the other videos I'm doing, when I'm doing like theory videos or things like that, I want to know the script. So I got a teleprompter. I've done one video with it so far, and I love it. For me personally, that's something I needed. You don't need that, not an expense you need to do. But you can kind of see back here, back behind the camera, that is all impromptu supplies. I just got a lamp because I needed a light source on me. It's very dark in that corner at night, which is when I'm doing most of my recording. So that aims at my face, and I'm lit up. Not perfect, but it works. The rest of this is because there is a huge echo in this room. You may be hearing it right now, or you might have been hearing it as I've been walking around, but this room echoes a lot. So when I set this area up, I realized I need a microphone. I don't have a microphone yet. So until I get a microphone, until I can make that expense and can justify that, this is what I came up with. This is a field goal kicking net that is normally set up outside. I brought it in here and I set it up in this room, and it barely fits below the ceiling, but it is in here, and I wrapped it in sleeping bags. My theory here was that the sound was bouncing off the walls and coming back to the camera. So I thought if I put the tripod in the kicking net, surrounded it with sleeping bags, then that'll absorb the sound. it actually works. So once again, I don't yet have a quality microphone at all. I'm just using the microphone with a camera. But when I record videos from there, that echo goes away, despite being far enough from the camera. So anyway, basically I just wanted to start a video, talk about the why, the how, and a little bit on the where of, for me, at this stage, starting my YouTube process. So let me know. If you think there's other ideas I can do for homemade remedies to make things better, let me know. Love to have your opinions. If you like these videos, you want to know more about someone who's right at the beginning, right, figuring things out at the beginning, I'll be happy to make more. I'm learning so much as I go about video editing, the process of recording, lighting, sound, how to get those things to work out. So there's a lot to learn here. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like it. If you want to see more of my videos, up that subscriber number, be ahead of 9. And until next time, thanks for watching.